gentlemen, those who go by other titles. Welcome to another Swiss matchup here, round 3 if I recall correctly, not 5, as we continue on in the Legend of Zelda Randomizer Pentaforce Tournament of 2018. We have OPTLawyer representing the Otters and LaurieDBunnykins representing the Bunnies here on what should be a very interesting matchup. Hello everyone, I am Wolfman2000 and I am joined today by Trenton. How are you today?
Well, doing alright. It's a bit soggy outside, but it's perfectly dry inside. Great environment to enjoy a little Zelda Randomizer in. Couple of one-on-ones battling here. OPT got here with a loss to Jam, a win versus Cantaloupe. Laurie took a loss to Malagord, and one versus Can't Find Bombs.
Ooh, the competition and quality of players have certainly gone up, so any win is essential, especially if we want to make it to the bracket stages. As far as our runners themselves, they are just about ready, so while I basically let them loose, why don't you talk about what is randomized in this tournament so far?
Okay, for that I'll just mention that for one of these runners, they'll only need one more win in the Swiss after today to be able to advance to the brackets. It's going to take 3 wins. There's no play-in race, so 3 to get in. That's the goal for them. We'll be starting on a random starting screen, which may not be the vanilla one just because. We will need 5 Triforces to get into level 9 in some random location because all of our dungeon locations are randomized. Hit points will be changed, the item locations will be changed, so we'll have to search the world to find the bow, the silver arrows, probably the latter, and possibly other things that enable us to do so. After that, find Zelda and Ganon somewhere in 9, take down the pig, rescue the kidnapped, save Hyrule, rinse and repeat tomorrow.
Well, hopefully not tomorrow. I'd like to believe our runners do get a little bit of a break between races, and they are off starting from the southern coast, it looks like.
Well, I mean, they could practice tomorrow. I didn't say it had to be a race.
Fair point.
Worth noting that Laurie has changed sprites, so running around as a Wizrobe, when we encounter Wizrobes, they will look like Link. That also means that Laurie is out to rescue Ganon and restore chaos to Hyrule.
I mean, there has
More
to
on that when we get into 9.
there has to be some sort of balance, but we'll take what we can get. So, as our runners had entered the desert shop and found a medium secret, note that the Octorok just said Quay. Every NPC is going to say Quay, at least until we find the book. And, ooh, did you recognize the type of cave that LaurieDBunnykins save and continued from?
It was level 1. I didn't see anything interesting there.
It was the potion shop. No text.
Okay.
Well, either that or text did spawn and I missed it, in which case that is, well, basically a free info piece once we get the book. And oh gosh, level 1 has Wizrobes.
Lots of them. Now, that was a potion shop. What I found that time. OPT scouted one to see if anything was on the floor. It wasn't a perfectly reasonable play to make. He also checked the Armor's location over here, seeing if he could pop a free item already. So I like his routing so far.
But I also
Laurie's going a little bit different direction.
But I also like what Laurie's doing, checking the shops and about to check what's on the coast.
Found a cheap candle. Raft is going to be ladder required. And there's the wood sword.
At Casino Corner. So in this case, the casino part is closed down, and instead we just offer the prizes right away. And the back of the casino... Sheesh, casino prices have gone down, but it's still, 33 is still better than the normal version of 30. And, ooh, we have warps.
What I do like for Laurie is finding that cheap blue candle shop. You're only one money pickup away from getting your blue candle and not having to lose a heart container for it.
Also, was that the letter in its vanilla location?
It was. Not random enough. We'll have to redo the whole thing.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I was just making sure I saw it right. And all it means is we just have a little bit of spicy vanilla ice cream right now. That's all.
Spicy vanilla. Can't say I've ever tried that.
And, ooh, Laurie's trying to get to where level 2 is. Unfortunately, that was not a worthwhile investment, and I think that door repair took away 24 rupees.
It was an expensive one. Honestly, it might have been worth retrying if Laurie did that save out of the one location. You wouldn't lose much space on the map. And now you need a lot more rupees to pick up the candle.
Final warp square is, well, the snail one right below the fairy fountain, so I'm not the biggest fan of these warps. I mean, they do get you across the overworld, but they don't get you on top of Death Mountain if we have to go there for levels.
No, those are okay, not great. Laurie now checking some of the same ground that OPT did and should soon find the wood sword. Well, unfortunately going to have to do it over again. But up to 42 rupees now, so only needs a 5er to be able to pick up the candle. And that's probably the biggest setback right now, is not having any kind of weapon.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, because you have to go all the way to Casino Corner, and while you do start kind of close, well, closer than the vanilla start anyway, it's still a bit of a walk. And
OPT finds level 9. Also, before we get too far removed, I want to mention that we did find by process of elimination that the Armos item is going to have to be up on Death Mountain.
I had missed the Lake Armos check, so that's actually good to know.
I'm sorry, you're right, but OPT's probably checking it now. My bad.
It's fine. Ew. Well, okay, 24 rupees for bombs is slightly worse, but not completely horrible. We'll take it.
Yeah, I think when you're sitting there with 100 rupees, you're a little more willing to spend.
I mean, that and bombs help open up a number of caves, which may very well have our levels.
Especially if OPT is maybe planning to route Death Mountain in from here. That is a horrible large secret.
Oh, LOZ Karts fan is thankful he's not commentating this match. He would be disgusted. And
it's the recorder.
Recorder at the Armos spot. Ooh. Well, at least Dig Dogger won't give us any problems. That, and we have access to another overworld secret location. Fortunately, Laurie also picks it up in time.
Laurie gets it, and making very similar moves to OPT, just unfortunately did not get over to the Wood Sword Cave yet.
Interesting decision to not recharge at the Fairy Fountain, but then again, considering that these matches can go by quickly, I can completely understand. So instead, let's visit the hospital. Or just warp away instead. That works too.
Oh, go back for your blue candle now. You can afford it. That's what I'd really like to see. I just feel like Laurie has been really held back without any kind of weapon yet, and even the blue candle would start to open stuff up.
Like on the screen that she's going through right now.
I meant combat-wise, not even counting secrets, but it would definitely help with those too.
Admittedly, fair point. Level 6 area check for OPT. What will he find? No bombs from the Moblins, but how about the actual spot itself?
More money.
There's number 2 out of 3 big secrets.
As poor as they may be, no pun intended. Now Laurie's got that candle. That should help a lot for being able to make some progress. There's our first hint shop, located southwest of Vanilla 6. So, won't be able to read those till the book, but now we know where they are.
And
Level 8.
Yep, the Armos spot that you thought may have had something, well, did have something, just not the something you were expecting. Something.
I dare you to say that again.
Let's just nod and say I did. Anyway,
okay.
Level 8. For those that have played the with the shapes algorithm, oh, Laurie takes an unfortunate death. But those that have played the shapes algorithm knows that level 8 is kind of nasty. With the actual first quest layout rules, it's actually one of the more decent levels out there. 2 items, and they're not, you know, the level shape isn't horrible. Level 7 is certainly much worse, and you only get 1 item there. However, this won't be an item because the shutter door has locked OPT in, and he has to push a block to get out.
This is vanilla shapes, as you were hinting at. So it is the same shape as normal 8. We just enter from a different location. You can kill the Dig Dogger OPT. I think you forgot you got the recorder. Although it could not be an item in this room, but it could be compass, it could be Triforce. Could be more keys.
However,
you always welcome more keys.
OPT does have to be careful because 1 hit from that Dig Dogger does mean death.
This is one of those enemies where people forget the true power of the boomerang. Not that we have it, but the boomerang will stun those guys.
Alright, we get a key, which is still useful early on. But now Laurie has learned that level 1 is not a free one.
Nope, it's very link infested.
And
when you... Go ahead.
Was there a reason why Laurie chose to restart instead of try to kill all those gels to hope for a key?
The gels would respawn.
Ah.
So with just the blue candle, that's not going to go very well.
Right, because you'd have to kill one, leave the room, come back, and repeat the cycle. Makes sense.
Yeah, unless you just got the miracle lineup. But now, Laurie's in the right position to discover the sword, and with that candle is actually able to get through some of the tactites, which is a big difference.
OPT with a timely clock is able to take out these dark nuts without a problem. But, oh my gosh, they look like they've gained a little bit of HP.
Yeah, there's a few things like that. The small secret actually very high at 16. I noticed this when we were in level 1. It wasn't as obvious on Laurie's side, but OPT noticed it with the sword. The Stalposts are up on HP. They're taking multiple wood sword hits. So are the keys. Those are the kind of enemies that can really, really throw you off when they roll up in HP, because you're just so used to them dying in one hit that when they don't, it's almost disorienting for me kind of every time I do it.
Yeah, OPT just went through a very nasty room and is down into danger territory. Gels shouldn't be a problem, and ooh, second take any for LaurieDBunnykins. So that means she has a 2/3 shot of picking up what is in the White Sword Cave.
We've not found it yet. Also, OPT did find the heart container out of level 8. Congratulations, Laurie, you found a level. Bad news is it's 7.
Oh, that's not... I just talked about this earlier. 7 is one of the worst levels here. 33 rooms of torture, and it starts with, I think, what was effectively a blue whiz robe.
Could have been. Those Stalposts with 3 HP, it's just a different animal from what you're expecting, so Not just the extra hit, but when it's not what you're expecting, it always takes that extra moment to register.
OPTLawyer found a passageway in level 8. Levels 5 through 8 are guaranteed one passageway. And fortunately, with the recorder on hand, it is within logic to go in there, but some of our runners still like to block clip and avoid having to take out the dig dogger.
The dig dagger is one of the easier ones to clip around. You're not having projectiles fired at you, you just have to avoid the slow-moving enemies, so you can usually safely block clip around that. He's got the Triforce in 8 and the Heart Container, just neither of the two items, which is what he was primarily looking for.
Since Ganon is required in this flag set, we do require the bow and the silver arrows. OPT is going back in to find them, hopefully.
2 items is just too much to pass up on, especially early, and if you don't have terrible combat. This dungeon full of annoying combat, but not necessarily terrible, like level 1.
Joys of Wizrobes, but fortunately with the wooden sword we can attempt to take them out. Keyword attempt. Due to their teleporting nature, it's hard to tell if their HP has changed, but I think if it did, it's gone up.
Yeah, they're definitely not going down faster.
Oh,
looks like 2 hits, though. Maybe they did go down. Or it's possibly 3. It's the book in level 1. Hints around the table.
Well, at least we can finally understand what the NPCs are saying. However, for those that have ever encountered the wooden sword person after picking up the book, they will always say the junk translation message.
Laurie leaves without finding the second item in 1.
Considering what was in there right now, I kinda can't blame her. No one wants to deal with Wizrobes at 5 hearts. Or wooden sword. We need more power.
I feel like we need Tim Taylor there.
I haven't seen Home Improvement in a long time.
Fair enough. Well, OPT wants to try and get the item out of this room. The trouble is somebody gave the Blue Land Molas a quintuple espresso this morning.
Blue Land Molas have always have that espresso. And, ew, magical sword at the bottom of the waterfall. Due to the nature of this flag set, I doubt we're going to actually see it, but good to know.
One of the races I did last night, I've seen the most health I've seen anybody have in the Swiss rounds, and it still wasn't enough to get the magic sword.
How much health did they have, Trenton?
I think they were one from the max possible for magic sword.
That would be 13
it just wasn't
then.
enough in that seed.
Because the max is 14, and ooh!
Yeah.
Blue Potion, which refills your health once, is its vanilla price, but Red Potion, which gives you 2 helpings, is a lot cheaper.
He just sacrificed the last bomb trying to get this Landmola, and they didn't line up once for all the bombs he spent.
So that means what OPT is going to attempt to do, well, actually I wasn't thinking of the block clip, but that will certainly work, assuming they head around to the area. But for some reason, they like to stay on the left spawn point, and oh, Laurie just uncovered a coastal cave, but got bopped in the head by a pea-hat.
The good news is you opened the cave first, so it's when you place the bomb and take the death that's the worst.
That is true. There is a time delay when it comes to placing the bomb and having it explode.
Could throw your candle out there if you didn't already. Was that Zorda had something?
White sword on Death Mountain. If you look at the bottom of our view, you will see a number of colored squares that indicate the zone. The pink reddish ones on the top left corner, that's Death Mountain. And also, it is a vanilla sword. Also, we've just found level 4.
Level 4 should be a little more friendly. With the Gyptos, we shouldn't be seeing Wizrobes in this dungeon.
However, Gyptos still hurt.
Well, just don't hug them.
Okay, OPT was finally able to deal with the Landmolas, and it was worth it. Silver arrows ahoy!
That makes it a little gratifying that you put all that work in, and then it's one of the items that is absolutely required to complete the seed.
So, if OPT I'm guessing he's still searching for the other item, and we have found the other info shop. It looks to be northeast of Vanilla.
There's not that many rooms left in this level 8, so I think it's perfectly reasonable to finish looking. One of the things you want to consider is not just how many items is in a dungeon, but how many rooms are you going to have to go through to find the items in a dungeon.
I think at this point OPT has explored most of level 8, so effectively he's spot committed.
Yeah, there's only like 4 or 5 more rooms, so yeah, if you've only got 4 rooms to search for an item, that's pretty high odds, and you're not going to match that anywhere else.
So now it's just a matter of remembering what other rooms could have the item.
I think that was a possible push block room, but the combat just looked nasty, so he's going to look elsewhere.
What did the room look like?
We had dark nuts, we had bubble, or you mean the shape of it?
Yes.
We had the double push block in the middle, but it was the, I'm not sure the description of it, but kind of the star pattern, where you've got the 2 in the middle and 2 in the 4 corners.
Ah, the 5-sided die, that's... You're thinking of second quest rules. I don't believe that one is a push block in first quest.
Okay.
An excellent use of bombing by OPT. We have what looks like another one. Just guarded by
this
Dongo.
one is push block eligible, that much I'm sure of.
As Laurie finds level 3, and oh, OPT is very happy with that. The magic wand.
Unlimited range, white sword damage. The good news is the Dig Dugger won't be back, so you've got 3 hearts to get around the keys.
Oh, I was not expecting a keys to prevent the wand from getting picked up. Also,
I'm not shocked by that, and I mentioned it earlier that it's one of the most disorienting enemies to roll up in HP. You're so used to that. They're basically a 0 HP enemy, so you hit them with a boomerang and they're dead. Whereas you take 2 wood sword hits to get past them, you stab them and you expect to just be clear, but you're not.
Yeah.
And whether you know it or not, it's just you've done it on instinct for so long that it's hard to fight instinct. The good news is if you move at max speed as Link, you're only going to have 1 keys in your path. So that's what OPT did that time, and he was able to time the stab so that he could walk through on the iframe, and then it all worked out.
Alright. Laurie with the map of the Manji. Which direction will she go next?
Good news is level 3 does not have a lot of rooms. The bad news is the layout can be a little annoying.
Well, at least it's a compact layout. Oh, blue Link robes. And that almost looked like a perfect room to drop the Triforce in. Hopefully I'm wrong on that.
It could be, but there's only 3 of them, and you go in there expecting it next time. It's definitely different. White sword for OPT, who has now really upgraded the combat.
At 4 hearts, that's the absolute minimum. Nicely done, and nice luck rolls there.
Well, you don't have to worry about killing the blue links for the Triforce.
I see that. You just had to go 1 or 2 more squares south.
That's one room to the south. It's full of orange links. But Laurie wants to kill them anyways because there's a good chance the item's in the next room.
Well, at least we got some bombs off of them, so that helps.
Laurie's been very good against these orange Wizrobes, which was not the easiest feat, but good navigation, good timing,
and
good knowledge of the mechanics.
And unfortunately, not good luck. That was a trap room. There are no items to be found here. And Laurie's deciding to just take out the red Wizrobes in hopes of gaining some more resources instead of taking the reset and go straight down.
Yeah, I think Laurie wanted to either keep the health up or just come back to the Triforce instead of walking through the blue Wizrobes again. Plus the orange Wizrobes would have been back in that room. And I think really narrowed down where the item has to be in this level 3.
Eastern Edge. Oh, look, free bombs. That'll certainly help.
Never gonna turn your nose at that. Although I will sometimes leave them on the ground if I'm already max.
And, oh...
Well...
We're gonna hope it's
possible.
Eastern Edge. We're gonna hope it's Eastern Edge, because that's a Chevy room.
Yeah, so we're dealing with a possible ladder block to the item situation. Still 4 more rooms after this that are not blocking the ladder, but it might have been worth the key.
Or Wizrobe blocked. That also works. Level 2 fine for OPT, just 2 squares east of Spectacle Rock.
It looks like Laurie says if it's in 3, I'll come back for it later.
As someone that has a vendetta against blue Wizrobes, or Link Robes in this case, yeah, I can't blame her one bit.
Finds the bait shop. I think also wanted to note the price of the magic shield was the reason for the double dip. If you're having trouble with Wizrobes, it's the best antidote.
Trenton, you just missed it. Bow in level 2. And OPT just picked it up.
Well, technically go mode. We could still theoretically lead the ladder in 9. However, there does tend to be a lot of ways around 9.
I can't call it a true go mode until either we know we don't need the ladder, or we end up picking up the ladder. That's just how I roll with this. Just like I rolled the seed, so any issues with this seed, please send your complaints over to Wolfman2000. Also,
We've got some Raiders from Randomania, so welcome everyone. Hope you're having a good Saturday afternoon.
Welcome, you have just seen OPTLawyer enter level 6 and get bopped in the head by some blue Landmolas. This is the Randomizer Pentaforce Tournament in action. OPTLawyer and LaurieDBunnykins are both 1-1, hoping to gain 3 wins in this Swiss stage in order to get into the brackets.
I think especially in a dungeon like 6 for OPT, the goal has just got to be getting Triforces, if he even doesn't just take this death and leave. Which I wouldn't fault at all. Chad commenting that OPT could go by the blue ring, and I wouldn't be surprised to see that play. I just don't think he's seen the blue ring yet. Well, the Recorder Lake spot was level 5. OPT walked by there without checking it earlier, so this is, I guess the best thing for Laurie would be is if this was the ladder.
However, Laurie has not had luck with finding keys. For that matter, I don't think OPT has either.
We have seen Dungeon 1. Laurie and OPT have both been in level 1, I believe. OPT didn't stick around long. It was early on, and I don't believe had a sword yet.
I think Duke was just asking what it would take to not have to find level 1 in one of these. In which case, different seed, folks? Level 1 had the book, so at least Laurie is able to understand what these NPCs are talking about. So, at the very least, Laurie will have a slight information advantage, but as far as progression advantage goes, that's OPT, with bow, silver arrows, and 2 of the 5 pieces of the Triforce.
Laurie now heading up to Vanilla 6, and OPT was up here earlier, so some money available now. I think Laurie ran into a lot of the muggers already, so it should be a little easier to keep rupees now.
And OPT using rare retry strats. Wonder what he was checking out that caused him to retry.
Might have been money.
And
Gliak.
Laurie has the knowledge.
Gliak returns with the silver arrows, tells you what dungeon has the silver arrows and heart container, so now Laurie knows both items in 8, and we know that OPT didn't miss anything.
Actually that was Gliak Lurks, which is level 4.
Okay. That's what I get for trying to read too fast. But
yeah,
this is gonna be...
Remember, we had already found both silver arrows and wand from OPT side. I mean, unless...
Okay, yeah. And now he found the blue ring shop, so he picks that up.
Now, it's entirely possible that, for all I know, Fred hacked the game to allow for 3 items in level 1, or level 8, but I severely doubt that. I'm presuming traditional rules here.
Under these flags, yes. However, there is a mode where there can be 3 items in 1 now, because we can shuffle items with heart containers.
I still need to try that mode at some point.
I do too, actually.
So, one of the... At this point, I'm looking at the key items that we typically watch out for in particular. We've noted where 4 of the 6 of them are located. Due to the rules of this flag set, do you believe that we will encounter the ladder or the power bracelet in level 9?
I'd give it greater than 50-50 expectation. I'd say we're more likely to see it in 9 than not. Even though the math doesn't say that. I'm just pessimistic. OPT did not check the Vanilla 8 spot. That's kind of interesting.
And 7 at the desert. Yep, that is correct. I just had to reread that hint. Dark Nuts are not making it easy for Laurie. Ah, CCX has actually brought up some interesting analysis. We have found all the dungeons at this point. So, Power Bracelet could be in level 9. And considering that we've also found White Sword Cave, Magical Sword Cave, Letter Cave, the Warps, and all 4 Take Any's, yeah, Power Bracelet is completely useless.
Could hide a bonus cave still.
Not many things worth hiding, so... yeah, so Raft is also not required as a result. And there we go. OPT finally finds another Take Any to get a blue candle. And Laurie is using that potion to try to stay alive. Did I just see a fireball go into the HUD?
Possibly. Glitches happen.
I mean, I know they happen. I just didn't know if I was seeing it right. So, I may as well at least give a quick item recap since there is some minor confusion regarding what has been found here. The latter item is the raft, which we know we don't need. The Armos item is the recorder. White Sword Cave has the white sword. Level 1 has the book, level 2 has the bow, level 4 has the heart container. Level 8 has the silver arrows and the wand. We are missing the second item in level 1, the item in levels 3, 5, 6, 7, and both items from level 9. I believe that covers them all. Did I miss anything, Trenton? I am guessing not. Level 1. Oh, this is one of those evil combat rooms. The wand will help with dealing damage to the gorillas, but not the Wizrobes. And Laurie is now entered and about to leave that trap room. Thank you, Pole's voice. Laurie has found that hint. Well, if there is one advantage that Laurie also has, she has found a number of heart containers, so while we may not see a magical sword pickup, having the extra health will certainly help in case things go south. Alright, Laurie has found the passageway staircase, but is going through. I don't think we've seen OPT end up at the other end here, so... well, at least we had some bombs, so that helps. Trenton, are you back yet?
Yeah, I had one of those quick half-second or less power surges ended up knocking me offline, surprisingly.
I told you those storms were gonna get you at some point. And the second item for level 1 has been found. It is the Almighty Key.
Well, that's a comforting thing to have going into level 9.
Yeah, the amount of keys have been very stingy in this entire flag set, so that's a very good find to have right now.
I guess OPT's killing these for bombs. There's not going to be a room reward that's worthwhile.
Well,
it's already on the floor.
Does pick up the bombs, so that helps. And Laurie has to be careful.
See, if only you had a boomerang here. It'd be so much easier.
I am required to ask, Trenton, which boomerang do you prefer?
The one that kills stuff.
Both boomerangs deal the same damage, if they deal damage at all.
They only deal damage if they're in my inventory.
Oh no, Laurie had gotten out of the block clip and a blue dark nut made her pay. Ouch.
Not much you can do about that. If you're gonna go the block clip strategies, you just gotta wait it out, however slow.
So this is where, right now, while OPT does not have a lot of health, his combat experience is certainly paying dividends here. That and having both wand and white sword.
They're actually not that far apart in health because OPT does have the blue ring.
That is true. I did forget about that.
In fact, OPT actually has more max health if you factor it that way.
True. 10 effective hearts compared to 9. And We may be ladder blocked from the Triforce in 1.
Always a possible issue. Compass is a great find. You find out that it is behind those wizardrobes and behind the moat. So no reason to stick around this one any longer.
I did not want to be right there, for the record.
It's still your fault, though.
Instead of placing blame, chat, why don't you instead follow our runners, as they are certainly giving it their all. And don't forget to follow our tracker, CyberChowX, and my commentary partner, Trenton GL, if you wish.
And Wolfman's not a bad guy, either. Besides, if we're blaming, then we're blaming TGE.
Why TGE? He didn't even have anything to do with this seed. I was the one that rolled it.
What has that got to do with it?
Clearly, I am missing some context. Oh, Laurie is in the correct room. Has to take out... Oh no, lost the block clip and lost it the other way. No!
That's just... OPT had that same issue in the same room. The good news about the block clip strats is you gain a lot of safety. The bad news is it's time consuming to wait for the right pattern. Because when you're out on the room, it feels like those land molas are on a homing missile pattern straight for you. But as soon as you're sitting on a block, they're all over the place, everywhere except there, so it becomes so tempting to step off. But you gotta commit to the bit. And sometimes you're just trying to face and press the button for slightly too long. That also happens.
Ooh, that land mola was immediately smart and managed to stop the block clip again.
Like I said, homing missile when you're out in the room.
And, ooh, OPT also gets taken out. Level 7 is proving to be nasty as well.
So at this point, OPT for sure needs 3 more pieces of Triforce and maybe possibly a ladder. Laurie needs quite a bit more.
Indeed.
The good news for Laurie is the more heart containers could pay benefits later on. Would need 1 more to be eligible for Magic Sword.
Oh, that was the moat room. Okay. At least was able to do the up and A for the quicker restart.
Insert "it's a trap" memes here.
Whatever you say, Admiral Akbar.
Well, we know that the Triforce in 1 is ladder blocked. Did we get both items out of 1?
Yes, a book and magic key.
Okay.
Not the boomerang, which OPT has just received a fistful of thanks to the Gorilla. And Laurie forgot that that moat room is a trap. You can't leave that way.
Those land molas are just proving really tricky on the 3 hearts. Maybe Laurie needs to have a little more health going in there.
Or the blue ring.
Or just better timing.
But the problem here is money has been kind of stingy this seed.
Well, OPT was able to max on it, and I think part of that was he may have up-A'd out of a mugger at one point.
That may have been the retry that I saw previously. And it's too early. Unfortunately, Erdrick's armor is not available in this randomizer.
This time Laurie gets in on the other side, finds Aquamentus, which is a little bit easier to deal with. Unfortunately did not drop a fairy, which would have been a very welcome sight there.
But the problem here is you spawn on the same side as the blue land molas.
Well, Laurie had a lot more damage, but didn't duck quite far enough back in the door.
And the thing is, Laurie knows that she has to get the silver arrows from 8. Right now, I think she wants to get in that staircase. She feels like there's a staircase there. We know there's a staircase there. But you have to wonder if you're not... With this game, you only get 3 hearts back on every continue. You don't get a proportional amount of health back. You don't get full health. You always start with 3. And right now, Laurie has no ring to reduce damage. So 2 hits, and that's it.
Now this is fascinating to me that OPT is digging this dungeon. He walked by the Triforce in 7 and has done so multiple times, trying to see if he could find the item here. So he is absolutely thinking, I better find the ladder before I go to 9.
Again, I think it's a smart decision on OPT's part for the safety play. It may not be necessary, but it certainly doesn't hurt to, as long as you're here. Now, what would be bad is if you find all the rooms but 1, and then you end up, having to actually come back for the ladder. So, honestly, what's that phrase? Ounce of prevention worth a pound of cure?
Well, counter-argument for you. What if it's not an ounce? What if it's a pound of prevention, and it actually costs the same? The amount of time you invest is a very serious concern, and 7 being one of the biggest dungeons, it can take a lot of your time.
Well, OPT has decided enough is enough, and Norestra agrees with that decision. 3 pieces to 1.
2 more for OPT to get into level 9. We know he does not have access to the Triforce in 1. It is ladder blocked. We also know he hasn't been into a lot of these bushes around the forest area because he didn't have the candle till a lot more recently.
But at this point, the main things left to purchase would be hint shops or maybe the bait if we are concerned about a bait block.
It's pretty unlikely, especially when you... there can only be 1, so it could only block you from 1 Triforce at most, so the only other way it could kill your run is if it's somehow blocking Ganon or Zelda.
Laurie...
Still, if you've got a surplus of money, you can pick one up. It's not going to hurt you, but not a high priority.
Laurie is still going after those blue land molas. You have to give her credit, folks.
Yeah, this is a bad spot to be in when you know it's that one room, but you're just having trouble getting the pattern. Laurie knows what she wants to do. She wants to get on the block clip, but every time she's gone for it, the pattern has been different and gone right for her. Like that.
If you were Laurie, what would you do right now?
Get a 4-pack of bombs.
Well, bombs cost 24 rupees this flag set, so we could get 2 4-packs. However, whether it's for getting bombs or not, Laurie has said enough is enough. Now, fortunately, Laurie is very close to where the white sword is located. Bad news, needs bombs to get it.
Death Mountain is a horrible place to be without bombs, because there's so many of these caves that only open up that way. I wouldn't even kill the reds. I'd leave the screen, see if it can get blues, and maybe force some drops. But that's me. Now the money's starting to come.
And level 4 is also ladder blocked in general, so that's technically 2 Triforce pieces we can't get.
Well, that's a 25% reduction in available Triforces by that ladder. So
let's take... Oh, hold on. Info time! And this is the other one. Gleok returns with the wand, we already know that. And no feat of strength, we were able to deduce that. However, OPTLawyer may not have. I don't think he's seen all the levels yet. Laurie...
No, that would also tell him that there wouldn't be ladder blocked by power bracelets, so it's a very worthwhile hint at this point.
Laurie does find level 6. We do not know much about this place yet. Oh, hi, Blue Land Molas.
I'm sure Laurie was so happy to see that. And this.
Hi, ladder block. What's at the northern end again?
An SU room's a little more welcoming. Don't know for sure yet if this is a ladder block dungeon, because there's still that shutter door. It's just not an easy one. You might take the hint, though, and just say, maybe not right now.
But if that is the case, I mean, it's not a confirmed ladder block yet. But it's certainly a combat blocked room where having the ladder would be extremely helpful. So that means it's entirely possible that we may have our Triforce pieces forced to levels 2, 3, 5, 7, and 8. Now, fortunately, Laurie has found level 2, so bow and Triforce piece are easy to come by here. And I also believe that level 3 should be easy to get, especially on OPT's side, because he has the almighty key. However,
the other thing I think for Laurie is you gotta fish out the heart container here and at least give yourself a chance at the magical sword. With as much that is rolled up in HP, the extra combat could definitely be invaluable.
Fortunately enters the bow room and thus may pick up the Triforce anyway. I mean, certainly a good health refill if nothing else.
Yeah, half a heart. I don't think you can walk away from that, even if you're going to explore for the heart container. But also with that short of 2, I can understand why you'd leave without it, despite what I just said.
So, where is Laurie going to go now? OPT is trying to deal with the blue whiz robes. Doesn't realize you just have to go 1 south for the Triforce piece.
Was a possible Triforce room, so...
Oh!
He's got it.
CCX may be correct. Laurie's going back into 8 and hoping to just power her way through those blue land molas.
The hearts will help, especially if you're able to sit in a door frame. She can get over to the right door frame without going through. She'll be able to take those over time. Could do it from the left doorway too. Shouldn't discriminate.
But dealing with the dark nuts, that's not going to help. 3 safety hits, 4 is death. There's 1.
Just gotta get one of these down.
That's 2. 3! 4!
Unfortunately, the strategy was just messed up when she took the bop before. Beam swords would have made all the difference where you can just sit in a doorframe and use sniper strats.
And
that's something Kid Me did figure out against Dark Nuts, at least.
Level 3
There's the ladder!
Level 3 was key blocked, and there you go. OPTLawyer at 51 minutes 50 seconds is officially in no mode. It's hard for me to call it go mode because we're still missing the 5th Triforce piece, but
we were ladder blocked in 4, wasn't it? So he should be able to get that back in no time if he remembers that correctly.
Both 4 and 1 have confirmed ladder blocks.
Yeah, but 1, I actually am thinking of 1 that there were only the 3 rooms on the south, and you just pretty much had a beeline. Yeah, chat corrected me that it's level 1 I'm thinking of. If he goes back there, he should be able to get that Triforce out in seconds. And besides, when I say go mode, I mean Triforce and go mode anyways. Means I'm not searching for anything anymore.
And Laurie was caught in the middle of a dark nut sandwich. Ouch.
I prefer peanut butter and jelly, personally.
Unfortunately, actually, well, technically the red dark nuts are kind of close to peanut butter, and the blue dark nuts are kind of close to grape jelly, so...
No, they're really not.
What can I say? You're making me hungry, Trenton.
Well, fortunately, I had lunch right before this, so I'm good. We've got the moat block, the key. You just have to not die to blue Wizrobes. Yeah, I'm not asking for anything mild, just don't die to blue Wizrobes.
And I had missed OPTLawyer pick up the book, but that's what the wand and book combo does. Fire the magic, spawn the flames. Also, that is the 5th Triforce piece for OPTLawyer, so that means we get to talk about level 9. So I am going to swap audio sources to make things easier for demonstration purposes. Hang on.
What it means is, as a runner, you are listening for the sound of Ganon. You'll hear him in an adjacent room. You are looking for a shutter door that does not open until after you beat Ganon. That's Zelda. Along the way, there's 3 possible old men hint rooms and the compass that can be valuable. There's also 2 item rooms that are not quite so helpful. Although one could be the red ring. We wouldn't turn our nose at that.
Yep, as I sometimes like to say, Ganon is loud and Ganon is proud, though a little bit too much. As long as you are next door to where Ganon is, you will hear that roar. So, just hope that there's not a spoiled Bratra also in that next door spot. Well,
yes, Laurie got the block clip.
And now will she stay in?
Do not move until you kill both of them. I don't care if it takes 10 minutes. Do not move till that guy's dead. Well, okay, that's fine. It'll despawn.
Yeah, but she has to get those silver arrows right now as OPT starts making his way through level 9.
Do not die to the keys. They're high HP. She's got it.
Okay, that's one piece of comfort. Alright. One advantage to, admittedly, me being both commentator and restreamer, I am able to help confirm the map progress that OPTLawyer makes as we go through. So if there are any questions about what rooms that have not been checked, feel free to ask in chat.
OPT is one of the most thorough documenters that I have ever seen for going through 9. He's going to mark every wall he attempts to bomb. Anything, anywhere he goes, he tries to make a note of it. So even if that slows down your progress the first time, as you're searching and recovering ground, he definitely gets an advantage anytime it's a second pass through a room. And he's never trying to play this. He's never wasting a bomb trying to find the bomb wall.
Level 9 is the great equalizer according to many, and with OPT's methodical planning and tracking, he certainly has the capabilities to equalize it back in his favor.
Laurie does not have the ladder at this point. Still could possibly be able to finish the seed without it. We have no reason to know at this point that it's not required. There's one of the 3 old men hints. That's not the hint we wanted, already having the silvers. What would have been useful is where's the compass, where's the kidnapped, or where is Ganon?
Unfortunately, one of those 3 useful hints will be gone.
You can also lose a second if it's a leave your money or life room.
I don't think we've seen any of those toll rooms yet, have we?
I think we saw one.
What
I thought
was,
OPT found one.
what was the payment?
It was hearts or keys, and he already had the any key.
Ah.
I may be wrong.
That may have explained why I would have missed it, actually. And oh! CCX brought up an excellent point, and it's about to pay off. Laurie now has the any key. As OPTLawyer notes, we're rescuing the princess in the northwest of Skull. That's 2 hints down. Now, perhaps you can explain this to me, Trenton. Why does OPTLawyer just go in and out of the passageways instead of just seeing where they take you? Oh shoot! Not only the shoot room, but we may have had another storm in Florida take place. Oh boy. We'll get Trenton back as soon as we can. Laurie is about to get back into level 1. Will she stay in or not? She's staying in. Wants to see if that Triforce is accessible. We know it's not. And wait a second. It was northeast, not northwest. Did I misread that? If I misread it, then that technically means we do know where Zelda is, I think. I could have sworn it said northwest, but apparently, there we go. Thank you, Chet, for the correction.
Hey, do you remember what OPT's file name is?
East is not west. Oh, great. I was the one that fell for it this time. That hint must have been subliminally in my message here, so... Oh, boy. Alright, well, that's not necessarily guaranteed proof, but it's good enough in my eyes, because... Alright, there we go. Shutter door didn't open.
Which is a great thing to find before Ganon, because Ganon's a whole lot easier to find than Zelda is.
Yeah, you actually have audio clues to tell you.
Well, and that gives you 4 rooms, really, because you'll hear them from any direction, so all you want to do now is cover as many spaces on the map as possible.
Alright, Laurie finally has the white sword, so that'll help with combat. But this is looking kind of insurmountable, unfortunately.
Now, I apologize for my tech issues. I haven't lost power, but I've just had 2 little surges pop up that were just enough to reset everything. However, the storm's over, so I think I'll be alright. Laurie back in 8. Guess this is an effort to get the Triforce now.
Triforce and maybe the second item if she runs into it.
I wonder if this is Laurie searching for bombs or just wanting revenge against these Darknets. Those Darknets probably cost an extra 5 minutes by taking away beam swords earlier.
No, but
compass.
Gets the compass, so we know where to go for that at least. Just have to go all the way to the other end of level 8, that's all. Wait,
Which is,
did you hear that, Trenton?
unfortunately, volume's a little low for me.
We have a roar.
Okay. Makes sense.
Which means it's either south or west. It's west.
Good news is, as long as you don't leave 9, this room won't respawn with the bubbles.
And OPTLawyer bombs his way into Ganon. Let the showdown commence.
Good open room to fight Ganon in, no fireballs to mess with us. OPT is kind of taking the center of the room strats for Ganon, knowing that's where he's going to be eventually. Or could be changing.
Oh, God.
Driver, driver, use the potion. Use the potion.
No! Revenge Fireball takes him out.
I wonder if he just held off on the potion until his next attempt, or was he out? He was out, okay.
Fortunately,
In that case, I think the play was entirely understandable.
Fortunately, 3 rupees away from getting 2 potions back. And Fairy Fountain right here as well to help. And I like this play that OPT is doing. If you're ever refilling your health and you do a save or continue before it fills up, then you will basically get full health right then and there. Or, you know, well, not exactly immediately, it still has to fill up, but you get the point. So OPTLawyer choosing to just purchase the single-use blue potion and is just going for it again.
I think with the blue ring, that's understandable instead of investing the time trying to find a 5 rupee. Also, Laurie got the Triforce out of 8, now that much closer to being able to get into 9.
But which level will she go to now?
Well, we know 2 of them are not going to be accessible because of ladder. Good news for OPT. This is a pretty short trek to Ganon once you know the path. Bad news is he'll have to refight some of these rooms because he left the dungeon.
Laurie's
Also,
going
9
back
rupees.
to 5. We never confirmed if level 5 had a ladder block in it. And that moat room is certainly not going to help matters. But look at this, we have a stairway immediately. To a passage. Well, at least we're not ladder blocked out of it yet.
So OPT was able to get through 9 without taking any damage, queues up the potion. Hopefully you don't misclick that too soon.
8 white sword hits are necessary in order to deliver the coup de grace to Ganon.
So one of the things everybody who wants to play this game should see at least once is the visible Ganon, where you can see his pattern through this, and what you realize is he's not teleporting here. He's moving in a figure-8 pattern, if you will. And the fireball is the last thing he does before he moves. And there it is.
And thus, Ganon has been turned into... Some say bacon, but who would really want to eat the King of Evil's remains? I'm still learning something.
I mean, I could get into religious mythology, but I'm not sure you want to go that far right now. Anyways, the search for Zelda. Actually, he already knows where Zelda is, so it's a question of time now for OPT.
Indeed.
Chat saying bacon is bacon, so I mean, how do you argue with that?
I wouldn't know. I've actually tried bacon before. Doesn't agree with my body, so... Am I missing out on something? I don't know. What I do know is OPT is getting close.
Used every bit of his money this seed. It's got 3 rupees, 1 rupee, no rupees. Used it all. You can't take it with you anyhow.
I wonder if he's going to spend all the bombs. Can't get rid of all the keys. Oh, and Laurie unable to get rid of all the Gleeok heads. Northeast of Skull. Yes, I misread it, OPT. You can have your laughs.
He'll enjoy that on the replay.
Oh, he's going to enjoy this full replay no matter what. I had the intro text prepared just for him, actually.
Wait, Zelda was 1 north of Ganon's room? Fred.
With that in mind, folks, get your GGs out in chat for OPTLawyer has finished 2-1 with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 8 minutes, 27 seconds.
2 wins now in the Swiss round. He's 1 away from making the brackets. Not bad for a rookie. Not bad, period.
It's honestly hard for me to call OPT a rookie.
He's a C1R tournament rookie. An event. Hopefully he'll slide in here and join us soon. He might have to adjust for a bit first.
We may end up having company because LaurieDBunnykins, due to the chaos that was this seed, has chosen to forfeit from the race.
The combat had been brutal, especially those land molas on their quintuple espressos were just not kind. It's like they're trying to kill you or something.
Yeah, not much that can be done there, folks. Let's see if we can get both of them in for an interview.
So, OPT, first thoughts?
Hey! Oh my goodness. My heart is like racing.
Well,
hey, I didn't misread the hint this time.
I did.
You did?
Yes.
I thought it said northwest.
That's exactly what I did last time. Oh. No, it said northeast, and I'm like, I started to leave, I'm like, wait, I'll look around here and see if I can find her first. And I did.
The item distribution ended up working out very well for you.
Oh god, you're not kidding. So I decided to just skip out on level 1 at the start, because I'm like, okay, that's infested with Wizrobes, forget it. And then I find level 8, I'm like, well, I can dig this, sure. And thank goodness, Silver's on there. Of course, I kept dying on item rooms.
Laurie's unable to join for an interview, but she struggled with a number of those item rooms as well. Blue Lamola, say hello.
Yeah, putting the silver arrows in a dual, you know, the blue Lamolis room after we get through the rest of all of that, not cool, game.
And then, of course, the unexpectedly strong keys try to prevent you from getting your wand.
I mean, of course, right? And the worst thing is I knew that was going to happen. I just knew it. Oh, there was a hint for silvers in 8? Oh.
Yep, one of the two, there were 2 hint shops found, and I believe it was the one southeast of level 6 where the hint for the silver arrows was found. The other one was northeast of Vanilla Start, but I don't recall us... I think you had found that one, actually.
Yeah, I got 2 of them, and that's where I found where the ladder was, and I'm like, alright! I don't think I actually ended up needing it in the end. Oh, I mean, I got the Triforce out of 1, so I did, and But I'm like, okay, cool. Well, the ladder's in 2. I'll just search that out because then I know I've got at least one Triforce. I think I had planned to go get another one, and then I didn't need to.
Yeah, we were concerned about how the Triforce pieces were going to be gotten. We had confirmed ladder blocks in 1 and 4. And so it was basically a question of, did you want to deal with 5, 6, or 7 at that point?
Right. I dug half of 7, thinking I could maybe find the ladder or the red ring in there. I got the top half of it complete. I'm just like, you know what? Forget it. I'm not going any further. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, level 7 is an evil level just due to the number of rooms you have to go through, and you only get 1 item out of it.
That, and I don't remember that being all that kind either. I felt like a lot of enemies just had a lot of HP, even after I had the white sword and the which, by the way, finding that white sword randomly in Death Mountain and able to pick it up at 4 hearts.
Yeah, that also gave you another advantage.
Right, I was thinking unless she went up there was no way that was, because there was barely a reason to go up there as early as I did. I just happened to be up on Death Mountain with 8 bombs. I'm like, well, I can dig this place out, and who knows. I went into 6 for about 5 rooms and decided, no, this is too hard. I'm leaving.
When you went into 9, you didn't have a potion. Is it 1 try and then you'll go buy it?
Only because, well, I didn't have enough rupees to buy one at the time. So my thought was, yeah, just jump into it, and if I can beat it in 1 shot, awesome. Because, you know, every so often you get that stun lock, and if I can't, then I'm hopefully going to have grinded up enough rupees to at least get a potion. I think I was supposed to die on that second Ganon fight, because I swear I got hit like right as I used that thing.
Well, at this point, you just need 1 more win to make the brackets.
That is scary. I did not think that was going to happen. I do not look forward to the 2-1 pool. Are you kidding me?
Who's currently in the 2-1 pool, by the way?
Well,
I haven't had a chance to look.
I'm pretty sure Saver's in that pool, and that's all I gotta worry about. I mean, there's clearly way more people in that who are just scary. So, I'm just shocked I even got up to 2 wins. I'm excited about that, but I'm just really happy I didn't misread it again.
Oh, by the way, OPT, make sure to watch the beginning of the broadcast. I'm sure you will appreciate it.
Okay.
Well, again, I'll say GG to OPT. If you want to see more of the Swiss rounds on Randomania 4, we've got Bartman versus Sharky going on right now. Coming up later tonight at 10 o'clock is Chrono JJ versus Dragon Dark. And then tomorrow evening will be the final match of this round of the Swiss with Lanagab versus Your Majesty.
Did you say Randomania 4? I must have missed that on the schedule.
Yes, that's going on right now.
Well, I know where we're going to send everyone as we close things up, but at the very least, before we do, one more thanks to OPTLawyer and LaurieDBunnykins for going through this seed. Also, CyberChow X for tracking and Trenton GL for joining me in commentary. Please give them all a follow. Maybe me if you wish to, or not. It's fine. I can deal.
Show love to the restreamers.
Definitely do that.
All right, everybody, hope you have a great rest of your Saturday.